Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the special meeting of the Village of Ruidoso governing body. It's the 27th, 1 p.m. If you'll stand with me, we'll have a moment of silence, and then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
God, we ask you to calm the winds and send the rain. Amen.
Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All right, thank you. And I get a roll call, please.
Mayor Crawford?
Here.
Councilor Sanchez?
Here.
Councilor Corey?
Here.
Councilor Hooker?
Here.
Councilor Salas?
Here.
Councilor Letterman?
Here.
And Councilor Brophy.
I am also here.
You have a
And
quorum.
you're all here. All right, and if I could get a motion for the acceptance of today's agenda, giving the chair the ability to move the items around, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda as presented and give the chair the ability to move items around as needed.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilor Hooker?
Aye.
Councilor Corey?
Aye.
Councilor Sanchez?
Aye.
Councilor Salas?
Aye.
Councilor Letterman?
Aye.
And Councilor Brophy.
Aye.
Okay, we're going to start off with item number 1. Is Dina Holcomb? There she is. Can you hear us, Dina?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, we're going to get an update from legal counsel on the firefighters' formation of the new bargaining unit, including status, next steps, and recommended actions for the Village of Ruidoso. Dina Holcomb, Holcomb Law Office. Go ahead, Dina.
Thank you, Council. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of history on what brought us to where we are today. As the council is aware, the firefighters, a group of firefighters filed a petition to have union representation. That was done on February 2nd of this year. And the petition was seeking to represent firefighters, lieutenants, captains, and a fire marshal. This means that if it went forward as presented, only the chief and assistant chief would be considered supervisors or managers and excluded from the bargaining unit. That would be 2 people out of the entire department. We were required by law to file a response to that petition, which we did on February 17th. That response laid out the fact that the fire marshal position does not exist, and so therefore it could not be included in a bargaining unit as there is no position, and that the law excludes supervisors, managers, and confidential employees, which we assert are lieutenants and captains. So we're simply stated in accordance with law, lieutenants and captains would need to be excluded as supervisors, managers, and or confidential employees. We're proceeding on with that, and there's a hearing set, and I'll discuss that in a moment. But since then, on March 11th, 2026, a prohibited practice charge was filed by the union, alleging that shift changes that were occurring in the fire department were inappropriate, and they requested an injunction. The fire department has had a long history of changing shift and station assignments for various reasons. Some of those being that it's very important in the Village of Ruidoso that employees of the fire department know the entirety of the village, not just the area within their station that they're located at. That means knowing the roads, knowing the water sources, knowing lock boxes. It's also extremely important for your rookie firefighters. They have a task book that they're required to complete in order to come off of probation, and that requires them to move amongst the different stations so that they have that familiarity, as well as other issues as far as having folks working with every employee within the department and under all that different supervision at the different stations. When that was filed on March 11th, immediately the state Public Employee Labor Relations Board imposed a temporary restraining order, or a TRO, without even allowing the village to respond to the request. And that TRO required the village to undo those shift changes. Unfortunately, it also affected employees' paychecks as it occurred within the same pay period. There wasn't any, again, no response from the village to explain that even if that was going to impose, let's wait till the next pay period so that we didn't have a negative impact on any employees. We have since had a hearing on that temporary restraining order about a week and a half ago, and our closing briefs are due this Friday. It was a bit concerning during that hearing that we heard some allegations that are not accurate, such as an allegation that this is not typical of the fire department. We of course submitted documentary evidence showing going back to 2020 how this occurs not only intermittently throughout the year, but in larger scales near the beginning of each calendar year. So we should have a decision probably in a couple of weeks or so. With that filing, there's also been another prohibited practice charge that was filed on April 10th, alleging that discipline was taken inappropriately. One of those stemmed from a firefighter who wrecked a fire truck into the bay doors of a station. And then with that incident, 3 employees claimed overtime that was not pre-approved in accordance with village policies. We have to be careful in paying employees and documenting it accurately as we are dealing with public monies. So that was an issue that was properly addressed, but there was more time claimed than what the employees actually worked. So that also had to be addressed. Then there was a strange claim that was falsely claimed that 2 employees are being denied overtime and picking up a new truck that will be for the village. That trip has not even been, was not even scheduled at the time that the prohibited practice charge was filed. I do want to mention that there's been a lot of false information out in the public that I've come across and has been shared with me regarding pay and benefits of firefighters. As the council knows, firefighters work a 48-96 schedule. So that means they work 48 hours and then they're off for 96 hours or 4 days. Their required duties are typically between 7:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. But I'd like to share just some information. I believe that this may have been shared in the past, and I would ask that I be able to share my screen. Thank you. All right. I'll make this a little bit larger just so folks can see this. This is firefighter compensation. I know there's been some allegations that firefighters are very low paid individuals in the village. I think it's important to note the actual entry level, midpoint, and maximum pay. We're talking here about a certified firefighter. Entry level at $17 an hour, which equates to a little over $50,000 annually based on the number of hours that a firefighter actually works. Midpoint at $19.66 an hour, and high point at $24.93 an hour with a maximum salary of $74,540. I'll get to the total compensation here in a minute. But lieutenants, again, starting at 19, midpoint 24.10, maximum 30.56, and captains starting at $22, midpoint 27.90, and maximum at 35.39 or 105,816 annually. When we're talking about wages, I think it's important to note as public employers tend to have quite a bit more in fringe benefits than some private employers may have. With retirement, the village contributes 28.3% of the employee's paycheck each month to retirement, or I'm sorry, each pay period to retirement. So 28.3% of the annual salary goes towards an employee's retirement. The village also pays $100 per month to fire employees, along with providing their uniforms. This is for maintenance, upkeep, additional items that they may want. The village also has 12 paid holidays per year, has vacation leave starting at 106.4 hours and up to 330 hours per year based on how long the employee has been with the village, and sick leave at 128.7 hours per year. Depending on the insurance program chosen by the employee, the village pays 80 to 90% of the premium. And I want to remind folks too that for these positions, the qualifications is to either have a high school diploma or a GED. As we talk through these additional benefits here, that's when you take into account that's at a minimum of 30% increase above the actual pay. So that's these figures here on the right on total compensation. If you add that 30% in fringe benefits to the employee's compensation, we're looking at a firefighter earning at entry $66,000 and at top almost $97,000. A lieutenant $73,853 up to almost $119,000, and a captain a little over $85,000 up to over $137,000. I think one of the other items that has been some false information put out to the public is the lack of equipment in the Village of Ruidoso Fire Department. I wanted to also share with council some of the equipment that has been purchased just over the last about year and a half to 2 years. You have a brand new 2026 Suburban, 2 rescue boats with trailers, 2 Polaris Crew Crab Ranger UTVs with skids for EMS and wildland, a fully outfitted command trailer, high water rescue vehicle, 2 Pierce Class A pumpers, those are the big pumper fire trucks, new water rescue equipment and PPE, 2 sets of glow bunker gear for all department employees. As you all are aware, a new main station is being built, and along with new gas meters and docking station, and new Class A dress uniforms were provided for seasoned firefighters. On average, the village spends about $50,000 annually on training of its firefighters as well. There's also a blatantly false allegation at some point during this process that the village was looking to fire 22 firefighters. That was just completely false, I think, in an attempt to try and create panic. But there was nothing going on at that time. I do want to let the council and public know that this is a situation in which the village is represented by council. It is a legal proceeding, and the village has been forced in that position by these filings in order to be properly represented. The union is also represented by counsel, actually 2 different law firms, but the main law firm that is heading these issues is actually located out of Washington, D.C. They're not located here in New Mexico. So it's been apparent from the hearings that they're really not familiar with New Mexico, not familiar with Ruidoso or its fire history, not familiar with the large fires that you've dealt with, such as South Fork salt fires, McBride or Little Bear fires, and that they're a highly paid law firm. Their attorneys in a recent lawsuit requested attorneys' fees at $475 an hour and paralegal fees at $185 an hour. We do, as I mentioned, have some upcoming hearings, and that is on that petition for the lieutenants and captains. Those hearings will be conducted on May 4th and May 19th. Typically, there's, after the last date of hearing, if we conclude on the 19th, there's typically about a 30 days period after that for the parties to file their briefs in support of their positions. And then about 3 weeks after that, we typically receive the recommended decision from the hearing examiner. Either party can appeal that recommended decision to the full Public Employee Labor Relations Board. And if either party is not satisfied with the decision of the board, either party can appeal that decision to the courts. On the other two prohibited practice charges, on the shift changes and on the alleged discipline, no hearings have been scheduled yet, but I anticipate those may come up here soon. But I stand for any questions on any of these updates or any of the information presented.
Anyone have any questions? Nope. Thank you, Dana. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to, wanted to go ahead and, since we have everybody's attention, let's go ahead and go to item number 2, discussion and possible action on adoption of resolution 2026-2022, a resolution amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, quarter ending March 31st, 2026, for certain funds and application to the Local Government Division, LGD, of the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration, DFA, for the approval thereof. Morning, Madison. Afternoon, I mean.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
I think we just had a whole bunch of seats open up on the front if y'all want to sit down. You don't want to get too close, I understand. Go ahead, Madison.
Today, we'll be going over the budget adjustments for quarter 3, which is January 1st through March 31st. This is included in the DFA report that Ms. Judy submitted through LGBMS. For our general fund revenues, we had an adjustment of $160,000. This is adjusting revenues to actuals. Our registration fees increased by $30,000. RMP reimbursements by $100,000 and interest by $30,000. Our general fund expenditures increased by $75,049. Financial reporting assistance contract was $60,000. Our planning and zoning contractual service less $86,951, and VOR match for Paradise, New Mexico DOT TPF funds. Snow removal contracts, $2,000, plows and debris removal for $100,000. Our general fund transfers out were decreased by $493,135. This included transfers to FEMA for $406,184 for VOR matches on obligated projects. Transfers to GCIP for $86,951. For VOR match for Paradise and MDOT TPF funds. And then for our fire fund revenues, we had an adjustment of $500,000. This is for the 2026 New Mexico Fire Protection Grant. And we had a corresponding adjustment to our expenditures. This is for the grant for the firehouse at Wingfield Park. For our LERF revenues, which is the Law Enforcement Retention Grant, we had a positive adjustment of $21,562 and a corresponding adjustment in the expenditures. For lodger's tax, our expenditures were adjusted by $455,060. This is additional funds for Xterra of $300,000, our docu-series of $29,750, drone shows for $55,000, diving for $100,000, Film Festival for $50,000, Brudoso for $15,000, and the New Mexico Municipal League Conference less $94,690. Part of the savings from the conference did offset the higher expenditures. For municipal gas tax revenues, we had an increase of $70,000. This is for internal street cut revenues. This is catching up to actuals. Our expenditures also increased by $70,000, fuel by $35,000, and street materials by $35,000. Intergovernmental grant revenues increased by $2.5 million. This is for the quality of life grant at Eagle Creek. And our expenditures also increased by 2.5. This is the Eagle Creek Lighting and Turf Project. Our FEMA revenues increased by $3,315,662. This is for South Fork and Monsoon obligated projects. The federal share being $2,909,478, and state at $406,184.
So we got that $3 million. Did we receive that?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Lutterman, that's the 3 million whenever former Secretary Noma was here, and that was for 2025, not 2024.
Okay.
Our transfers in for FEMA increased by 406,184. This is the Village of Ruidoso match for South Fork and Monsoon obligated projects. Our FEMA expenditures increased by 3,721,846. This is also for the South Fork and Monsoon obligated projects. Our GCIP transfers in increased by 86,951. This is a transfer from general fund for the Village of Ruidoso match for the Paradise and MDOT TPF funds. And we had a corresponding adjustment in the expenditures. Our RJU revenues increased by 500,000. This is the Upper Canyon Sewer Line Grant with a corresponding adjustment to the expenses. Our airport revenues were adjusted by 276,095. This is an adjustment for the electrical upgrade grant to correct the amount. And we had a corresponding adjustment in the expenses. And finally, we had an adjustment to our wastewater treatment plant expenses for 360,000. This is to rehab the manholes off of Highway 70, bringing our total adjustments to 15,909,882.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? This has been reviewed by the Internal Finance Committee, and then this council did a workshop on this, was that Tuesday and Wednesday?
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday and Friday. The time flies.
Mayor, I move approval of Resolution 2026-22, a resolution amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, quarter ending March 31, 2026, for certain funds and application to local government division of the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration for the approval thereof.
Second.
Any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Brophy? Aye. Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Good job, Madison.
Yeah, great job.
Excellent.
We didn't even have to call on Judy. Next, I want to go ahead, since we've got the warning system up. So Lynn and Chief, discussion and possible action on the Village of Ruidoso outdoor warning system policy. We have the new system up and running, and so this is the policy that will be managing that system. So you guys can make it real quick. I know everybody's on edge, but at least people will be able to hear this. We talk about it, we advertise it, but so people can hopefully start understanding it. Go ahead, Lynn is our deputy manager.
Thank you,
Chief Hall.
sir. So yes, we're here to talk about the warning system as mentioned and as we've been discussing. So if we can go to the next slide. So we have 13 sirens throughout the village. We've got 9 of the new ones, as y'all know, which incorporates the voice-activated ones, as well as the tone only. And then we've got 4 of the previous ones. If you look at the slide, the 8032 is the voice-capable sirens, and then the other ones are the tone only. We can go to the next one. Here's the map of the coverage of the village. As you see, the 3 different colors. So as the sound travels, obviously it gets lower in volume. So you can see how they kind of overlap. Next. So we'll go into the actual policy. Next, please.
So the decibels, the minimum was at 60,
70.
70, 80, and 90?
Yes, sir. So obviously, the purpose of the system or the policy is to give us not only currently, but as we progress throughout and staff changes, that way the policy is in place, that way there's continuity of service throughout So whether me and Eric go down and somebody else has to step in, they can look at the policy and know when to activate it and what has already been determined as acceptable by you as the governing body.
Okay.
If we can go to the next one, please. So the four main points of when we would activate it is when there's a threat to life, when outdoor populations are at risk, when immediate protective actions are required, and when our other alerting methods such as the iPause and Call Me Read also are not adequate. If we can go to the next, please. So the first part is obviously our flooding, as y'all are aware, especially as we're coming up on monsoon season. So we don't go off of just the National Weather Service criteria, so not just whenever they issue a watch or a warning. We actually look at how the impacts are. So when we get the warning, but there are no impacts, we'll start considering. That way we can be ahead of the game. And then when we actually start seeing impacts to the village and to the residents, then we'll actually activate the sirens to alert everybody. And at that point, as we're going to start issuing out public safe messages, having them tune into the radio and looking at the village social media and other sources so that they know what to do when the sirens are activated.
Okay, before that, though, you're going to be setting off iPause and Call Me Ruidoso and with the watches and the warnings?
Not the iPause, but we would do the Call Me Readoso, yes, sir.
Okay.
The iPause is also the next level, so, but we would be setting them off concurrently.
Okay.
And then, obviously, when the emergency and there's a bigger flood, obviously, we would also activate the sirens at that point. If we can go to the next. So also with the fires, we obviously want to make sure if we have one of those again, we're letting people know. So when there's a wildfire present, but we're not actively having anybody move, we'll do the voice only. That way people that are outside are able to hear those. And then once we start doing the voluntary activations, then we'll look at considering the full system. And then when we actually start evacuating, we'll obviously hit the different sirens. Part of this is we've also talked with Chief Hall, and we're looking at modifying it to where specific evacuation zones will hit the sirens in that. But since we don't have a siren for each evacuation zone, there is going to be some bleed over into the other ones. So we would still be issuing those other messages and making sure get the information out of where people are being affected. So if we can go to the next one.
Mayor, Council, Lynn, just for clarification for public knowledge, this is an outdoor warning system, not a, I have my headphones on inside my house playing Xbox and can hear the alarm system, correct?
Correct, and that's why the map was important of looking at those decibels and as they move out, because yes, as different building materials are utilized and everything else and different sounds, so if people are listening to music or have their headphones on, it will obviously make it more difficult to hear inside. So yes, this is more of the outdoor warning system.
But that's why we have those secondary alert systems such as the Call Me Ruidoso and the texting app and everything like that. So if you are engaged in other activities and hearing impaired at the time, you still have a visual aspect to be alerted as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So this just goes into a little bit of definition of the difference between the tone only, which obviously is just going to be the siren that everybody's used to, and then the voice, we are actually able to give what's going on. So it'll say, alert, alert, there's a flood, move to higher ground, or whatever, depending upon which message we have, both higher ground and evacuation for that. So you'll tell them a little bit more, and then obviously part of the voice is also tune into 1490 AM, 99.1 FM for more information.
Question?
So Lynn, tell us real quick, there's 3 voice active, or voice capable?
Yes, sir.
Where are they?
White Mountain, Wingfield, and then Eagle up at up top at the north side of
The
town.
baseball.
Eagle Creek.
Eagle Creek Complex, yes, sir.
Thank you.
So, next. And then, as we've mentioned, obviously, anytime we activate the sirens, we would be activating our other methods. So the iPause, the Call Me Ruidoso, social media, having Greg get the radio, putting it out. I know y'all asked about the Midtown speaker. That is right now just a internet-based streaming through there, so we can't push the siren and the warnings through there. But working with Greg, he has already started creating PSAs that he can play, and we're going to also coordinate to increase those so that we can make sure warnings are all able to be played through there as well.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Next. The people that would be primarily activating these are Eric, myself, Chief Hall, or anybody he designates, Chief Minter, and who he designates. And of course, we would coordinate with y'all to make sure y'all are tied in and making sure it's a coordinated effort. Next. So, and then obviously we have our emergency plan and the different annexes that go along with this, so it all ties together. Would there be any other comments or questions?
Everybody good?
I don't have any questions.
Okay,
Thanks, Lynn.
thank you, Lynn.
Yes,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Lynn. Thank
Let
you,
Eric
Chief.
know you did a good job. Chief, great job,
Chief.
sir. Hey, I'll entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion for action on the Village of Ruidoso outdoor warning system.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, second. Any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Brophy?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Okay, let's go ahead and move to the main course. We'll skip a few, move to item number 7. So before we get started on item number 7, before I read it, I would like for our deputy manager, Keith Dobravoni,
Almost.
Baloney.
It's getting closer.
Oh, man, stuff. Anyway, who in his prior life was the floodplain manager for the state of New Mexico, worked with DHSM, Homeland Security. So tell us a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing, how it does not negate anything to do with the EWP program, which is the buyout program. So explain to us what we're doing, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Council. So the clean and lean process is actually identified in our ordinance. It has been in our ordinance for some time. The village did not immediately implement this program right off the bat when we could have in 24, 25, because we were waiting for the buyout program. We did not want to do anything that would potentially harm residents from having an ability to participate in the buyout program. So that's first and foremost. The purpose of the clean and lean process is that we identified 4 tiers of high-risk properties, starting with Tier 1, which are those properties that were directly destroyed or heavily impacted by the 24 and 25 flooding events. Those homes, which are properly on our resolution today, which we'll be addressing today, those are the properties, again, that are the most life-threatening or high-risk. Tier 2 are those properties that are still in the floodplain, but maybe did not receive damage from 24, 25 flooding. And then Tier 3 and Tier 4, obviously, we just keep expanding out farther and farther from the floodway. Again, the purpose of the clean and lean process is to identify those properties and then be able to clear them. Because if we don't clear them, we are not only violating our ordinance, but we are also potentially jeopardizing FEMA reimbursement funding for future disasters, because those properties have already been identified in the 24 and 25 disasters. They won't be identified again if we have a new disaster. So that's an important distinction. And again, this process is, as to your point, where this is not a taking, this is an opportunity for residents to have their properties cleared with the hope that the state and feds will reimburse that process to then have no cost to the owner. Now, those parts are not fully vetted out and are not fully fleshed out as to how that's going to happen yet, but that is our intention. But again, this program is intended to work hand in hand with the buyout program. So properties that are on the clean and lean list that the councilors may vote on today, if they are already in the buyout program, after the resolution has been adopted, we will suspend moving forward with the actual clean and lean portion of this program. Okay, that's an important thing to think about. If you're already in the buyout, This is just documentation showing that the village is implementing its ordinance to satisfy state and federal requirements.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
question for Heath. How does a homeowner or property owner document that they have submitted for
Yes, sir.
county buyback?
So every property owner that participates in the buyout program should get a letter of intent from the NRCS, EWP program, stating that they are going to participate. If they have that documentation, once we get into the 10-day contest period, they can submit that documentation to us, and at that point, then we will suspend moving forward with the Clean and Lean program.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Heath, the 10 days, does it start when we do this resolution or after the county sends out letters or NRCS sends letters to property owners saying you've been accepted in the buyback? How is that going to
So,
happen?
yeah, the 10-day process starts when we're concluded here.
Okay,
So it's imperative for those folks who may not be in the buyout program yet, if you intend to join the buyout program, that you do so quickly. So that way you can provide that documentation back to us.
so when will the county send, or not the county, I'm sorry, NRCS, when will they be able to send, will that be
We
within
recognize
the next?
Jason Burns. He can answer all your questions, the county manager. Congratulations on your recent employment extension.
Thanks, Jason. So I was just wondering, how long is this gonna, so after this resolution, then we're saying 10 days. So is NRCS gonna, will they be sending?
So, to answer your question, Madam Counselor, is the NRCS determines eligibility and the county is sending the letter. So it'll be a county letter.
Okay,
We currently have 279 properties signed up as of today, and we had a meeting at 1 o'clock that we pushed back, and we're gonna head to here in a minute to see the rest. We're gonna send out about half of those. So we have 170 of those letters sent out.
oh, okay.
Just as a little update, the commission did confirm and award our appraisers on Wednesday, and they will be boots on the ground this week. So we're moving this thing along in hand with NRCS. We're staying in close contact with Mayor and Ron and Heath. I can't say your last name. We're gonna work on that. So, we're moving right along, and we're gonna try to keep them within the 10 days. I know we've had several phone calls with those concerns. So we'll move those right along with the eligibility and get those out as explicitly as we can, so.
I have another
expediting.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when, so you send out the letters, your appraisers will start appraising. So how long will it be before?
It's a $220 million question.
Okay,
No, we are moving through this as quick as we can. Procuring property is not a fast process anyway. But with that, this is going as smoothly as it currently can, and getting through the title work and getting it to the right places and getting the appraisals in place, making sure that we're checking all the boxes with the environmental, cultural, and those deals that we're gonna have to do. But I think this is a great option that, like Mayor said, like he said, this is to put the village in compliance, but it does not negate you from our program. So that's a good thing. But also, like we stated before, this is important. Understand the forces that your leadership and our leadership has had to go contend with to bring this here, because this is the or else. We're doing our best to make sure that we get the best situation we can for our residents, and understand that these have been the fights that we've been fighting to make sure that we don't put our residents that are already in a hardship in more of a hardship. So.
thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Jason, there's been some scuttlebutt on social media that this is a land grab by the village. The buyback, at least in the initial stages, the county retains ownership of the properties, not the village.
Mr. Counselor, that is correct. Any of this land that is procured through the buyback program will be county property until such a time as we decide to move it to the responsibility for the operation and maintenance of it. But even then, the county retains responsibility for the perpetuity of the restriction on the deeds that are on it.
Okay.
We cannot build structures back on it, so we
Ever.
still, ever. So the county's the one that remains responsible for ensuring that happens, no matter who's mowing the grass.
And Heath, two follow-ups. One, you've been very diplomatic. As the council is aware, FEMA has been breathing down our backs to get this done before monsoon season starts. And that is one reason why we're having to move quickly on it. Secondly, I want to reemphasize what you said. If a property owner has evidence that they are part of the buyout program, we essentially will cease and desist.
That's correct, sir.
Mayor, Council, sorry, Jason, I have one more question for you, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, once the appraisal process is completed on these identified properties, which I drove by, I woke up about 4:30 this morning, and I drove by a good chunk of these properties this morning, so I could put physical eyes on what we were going to talk about today. A lot of these structures are significantly damaged from previous flooding, and I am fearful that if we do not remove these structures prior to our next water event, we will end up undoing a lot of the hard work that we have already done on bridges, waterways, culverts, and things like that. So moving forward in this buyback program, once a property is identified and appraised and then, I'm assuming, funded, how quickly will the removal process begin on these structures?
I'm going to tell you is almost immediately. We've already got our contractors that are in place and contracted, so we're not going to reinvent the wheel on that. And as soon as we have a closing, which we're moving through as soon as we can, as soon as we get clear title work and they've accepted an offer, we're going to move to closing and funding.
So that the person will have to physically accept the buyback offer before the removal process can begin?
The correct answer is yes.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I know we're going to have some situations that we might have to be very diligent with, but the correct answer is yes, they're going to have to accept the closing, because this is still a voluntary program.
Yeah.
They can back out up until the moment of closing. So
Okay.
we can't put ourselves in that situation that we've gone and tore down a house, and then they back out of a closing in the last minute and decide not to do it, so.
But if they back out the last minute, the next option is the clean and lean, and that we're hoping to go after the PPDR program.
That's
Yes,
correct.
Private property disposal,
Debris removal.
debris removal program.
Okay.
And if you don't have that,
Then you're on your own.
And then you're on your own.
Yes,
But
sir.
again, a homeowner could technically remove
Yes,
their structures on their property on their dime.
anytime, right now.
Anytime, right, well, preferably right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although,
Thank you.
Jason, I've been told you've explicitly told the county residents, if there's no structure, there's no buyback.
That's correct. The requirement of the program is a structure on the property. And if there's not a home on the property, it cannot be appraised, even if it's damaged. So we're encouraging them to leave the home. We're getting appraisers out there as fast as we can and getting this through, and then as we sign them, we'll have contractors ready immediately.
And that's one of the main reasons we've waited on this program, so we could get the buyout program, the EWP program started, so that we could come into this. And so we're meeting our requirements. We're not going to have any public communication at this point. Right now, we have everybody here to answer the question. Why can't we take the list that we have and marry it up in case somebody doesn't get in that 10? I don't want an 11th day issue.
Yes, sir. So we have actually started that process already, right?
So we'll be handing over the list
Yes.
and making sure we've got past all the, you can't look at super secret stuff?
With the communication between us, we're governmental entities, and we're going to be okay. We just cannot share it with the public.
And Mayor Heath, my understanding is This may not be a complete list.
That is correct. So this is just the Tier 1 properties. We still have 3 other tiers yet,
Okay.
which we have not begun assessing.
And could you just state again, I know you've done it already twice at the public meetings, what the purpose of the EWP buyout program is?
Our mission of the EWP buyout program is to create a floodway for the increased flows that we're going to continue to see off of the burn scars for the next probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So again, our goal on this is to create areas and green space that as these flows, as these water events keep coming through town, they're not the level of disaster that we've been seeing. So that's the whole goal, is to create the floodway through town, through the county, from Upper Canyon all the way through the valley, that we're not having to rush in there and homes are being destroyed and we keep playing the same game.
And Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
And just to reiterate, the property will do no good. Either way, you can't build back on it. The county nor the village is going to get any financial gain from having this property. And ergo, it's not a desire of ours to try to get this property. It is because of FEMA stating that if we do not enact on our own ordinances and something was to happen later, then there could be no payment or even liability turned around.
That is correct. If I can make the button work.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions?
I
for
just,
the mayor? No, we're not.
I have one, once again, so if your house washed down the river and there's nothing there but a pad, you cannot you don't,
Mr. Mayor, Madam Councilor, if the river or a flood event took your house, then that is a different situation.
okay,
You
okay,
would still be eligible for that home, for that property if the flood took it away.
okay. But if you had insurance and then you, with the insurance, you cleared your property, then you don't, the buyback is
If there's not a structure there,
Got
you
it.
would not be
Okay. I
qualified. But
just
if there's a
wanted-
foundation,
Okay,
you will be eligible.
okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, councilors.
Thank you for all your work.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to go through and read these properties. And if you have a property that's listed here, you can speak to that. Okay? And I understand there's already been a couple that we found out that are already signed up that we'll be excluding. So item number 7 is discussion and possible action on adoption of resolutions 2026-24, 101 Slay Road, 2026-25, 103 Slay Road, 2026-26 is 1019 Main Road, 2026-27, 125 Fox Drive, 2026-28 is 113 Fox Drive, 2026-29 is 108 Fern Trail, 2026-30 is 136 Fern Trail, 2026-31 is 141 Fern Trail, 2026-32 is 142 Fern Trail, 2026-33 is 144 Fern Trail. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance. Is there anybody that had your property listed on there? If you want to come up to the mic and just state your name and which one's your property.
Hi, my name is Philip Slay. Do I have to push the button?
Is it green?
It's green.
Okay, you're good if it's
Pull it a little
green.
closer to
It's
you.
green.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have 101 Slay Road and 103 Slay Road.
Okay.
Now, does that mean we're on Tier 1?
Yes.
So those who can never build back on that property?
Yes, sir. Now, did you sign up for the buyout program?
No.
I would suggest you sign up for the EWP buyout program.
Okay.
And then that is in the new floodplain, And we've just had, you want to speak to this, Heath, more?
So, yeah, so the village adopted an updated floodplain map last year, 2025. Council adopted it last fall. Your property is in that area, and you are at a high risk for having future flooding impacts there. So any work that you would do to reconstruct would be exposed to that flooding impacts.
Well, we don't plan on rebuilding for another 5-10 years anyway. So are you saying we cannot rebuild even then?
No.
Right.
Well, I can't speak to the future.
Well, I mean,
That
if
would be for the council.
the floodway, if it's ever changed and you're not in the floodway, in the future, possibly. But like on the buyout program, if it goes through the buyout program, it's always going to be green space forever. If we go through the clean and lean, we're going to clean the property off, and then you still own it because we haven't bought it from you.
We're on the list to have it cleaned up.
Okay.
Through, I think.
Through the PPDR, the private property
Yes, sir.
debris. So that's an issue, and you can still file a complaint or the 10-day where you just disagree with it, so that we're going to look at each one of these. The goal is we want to get the ones that need to be removed, that want to be removed, gone.
Right.
And then the other ones we're going to have to take a look at. But the way I understand it is if we clean and lean it, and we are looking for money to satisfy, because we're going to have to pay a contractor, to pay that contractor so that it doesn't stick with the property. But there is, I know it sounds silly, it's the anti-donation clause of the New Mexico Constitution, keeps us from helping one person that we don't do it for everybody. And so these are issues that we're going to be dealing with one-on-one.
Well, since we're on the list, to have it cleaned up, that means you won't.
That'll go through the PPDR program.
Is there any way to find out when?
I actually have the man that's in the PPDR program. If he'll come up here, I'll let him give his opinion. Is that good for you? Okay. John Moon, we've asked him to come in because he speaks to the PPDR.
So I can tell you right now. Hold the mic closer to you. There you go. With the PPDR program this year, due to the FEMA policies and procedures, we will not be able to get to demolition on any brick and mortar stick-built homes. It won't happen. The village has to first go through this process because it is not a voluntary program this year. FEMA will not let you say, hey, I want you to tear my house down, and we go do it. So we would have to wait through that. We can come and take the debris off of your property and not touch any of your structures. But we cannot touch any structures this year at all, which we are up against the time frame right now before monsoon season hits. And there is no way we will get to demoing any property.
So, sir, the list you're talking about is the debris removal or to have the house torn down?
Have the house removed.
Okay.
And debris.
So that will be through our program.
Yes, sir.
You're right, okay.
Okay. And then there would be a lien attached, and we're working to see what we can do to satisfy that lien to, so that we're not in violation of any laws. But there's no promises at this point.
I highly recommend that you at least sign up for the EWP program and go through that process and see what happens with that process. That way you're in both of them, right?
You can always say no.
And Mayor,
The owner of the property, my mom is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would have her, like I said, you can sign up for the buyout, the EWP program, and you can say no at any time. But if you don't get in that process, it triggers the clean and lean process. And that's what we're trying to let everybody know, is to sign up for the buyout. And then if you don't qualify or whatever, or you decide I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it, because if you don't sign it, then we're going to clean and lean it. I don't know what's going to happen 5-10 years down the road if there's somehow you can build back. I just know if it's paid for by the NRCS program, nothing will be built back there.
We won't have to pay for the cleanup.
No, not if you go through the buyout program. You sign it, you walk away with your check, the county comes in, the contractor comes in and cleans the house up, hauls it all away, and you're done.
But with the clean and
But with the
lean,
clean and lean,
you
we'll
will,
send you a bill for that one.
yeah.
So just to emphasize, you need to sign up for
Yes.
the county buyback as soon as possible.
Please do that.
And Mr. Slay, you can find those resources and that information either down in Carrizozo at the county office down there, or I believe there is some resources online, right, that he can print
Yes,
that information off and obtain it. And maybe the office staff up front could.
I believe the
Get him a
website is
copy.
lincolnready.gov
Yeah,
or .org.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry for you and your family's loss on those structures. I drove by Slay Road this morning up and down there, and I know that you and your family have worked very hard for a long time to make that road very cool and very much so a part of our history and our culture. And I am truly heartfelt sorry for you and your losses. And I hope that you are able to navigate this buyback program and at least be compensated for your losses.
You say you do have the paperwork here?
I don't know if they have it up front or not anymore.
No, we do not have any NRCS paperwork here. You'll have to go to either lincolnready.org or to the county offices in Carrizozo.
I would just go to the county offices, sir, and just deal with someone in person.
All right,
Yes, sir.
I might have a question here, let me see.
okay. Next door, county annex office has paperwork.
For you guys.
So did you hear that? The county commissioner said over here at the county annex,
Okay,
on the other side of the library, that they have the paperwork.
Yeah, just go past the library building. That next building over there, they'll have the paperwork.
okay.
Okay?
Well, let's see what my mom says.
Okay.
She's really upset, she wants to hold the property.
No.
I understand.
And that's okay, just,
Well,
All right, who else had a piece of property? Yes, sir? You might just hang around.
Hey, can I just say one thing real quick, is if you haven't signed up for PPDR with the state, the last day to sign an ROE and get it turned in is the 30th of April. So if there's any chance you think you might want to use the program, again, if I was in your position, I would be signing up for both programs. But 30 April, we will no longer be able to take ROEs, request,
That's this Thursday.
residential forms, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Hi there.
How are you, Mr. Crawford?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, that's it. This morning, my phone went ringing off the
I
hook.
bet it did.
We're there by Fern Trail and also Leach Street. But anyway, Bill and Dot Prince called me. They're at 108 Fern Trail. They're unclear why their property's listed on here. They basically had to mop their house out after the flood, but not no great amount of flood damage. And so they were asking, well, why is their name on the list? And I told them I'd ask for them.
Well, you want to go ahead, Heath, and talk about the floodplain?
Yes,
Dan?
sir. Yeah,
Go
so,
ahead.
so we had a contracting firm come out, a structural engineering firm out of Albuquerque come out and walk all these walk all the right-of-way boundaries. And they determined that there was some structural deficiencies with all the properties that were listed here. I don't have the final report yet because they're still completing that. But as of right now, that's why the initial assessment is.
And they can, Dot, they can contest that.
Okay.
And we'll take another look at it, but we did put out a RFP, wasn't it, Q Engineering?
Yes, sir.
Q, that went out with their engineers to look at all the properties.
My other question is on property down here on number 11, but 110 Leach Street and 114 Leach Street does not exist. The only properties on Leach Street is 102, 104, 106, 108, and 107.
Okay, and we're looking down here on number 11, is that where it's
11
at?
at 114 Leach Street and 110 Leach Street. There is no such address. Now, when y'all condemned my house, y'all wrote on that piece of paper 114 Leach Street. I marked it out, put 107. I came down here and told y'all I did that. And when I got my tax bill this time, it had 114 on it. But for 21 years, it's had 107. So I don't know where the confusion is on that property address. And same way on 110, it's really 108.
So, Mayor, Council, we were just going off of county assessor addressing. So if there's an issue there,
Yeah.
we're not aware.
But it had always been listed with your tax bill as 107, and then it came out
21
as
years, it said 107. This year, it said 114, which matched the piece of paper y'all attached when you condemned it.
Right.
But I contested it then, but I guess nothing happened.
Well, we'll have to check on that and find out what it is. I mean, I have an idea of what it is, but I'm not sure.
Laura Dolph has visited with somebody about it, and they told her, said, yeah, it's 107. I don't know why it has 114 on it.
Well, fortunately, that's why we still have people that we can try to straighten these things out. One day, I guess we'll all be working for computers, but we'll see what we can do to get
Okay.
this done. But now, you're signed up in the buyout program?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, good. All right.
I don't think that Bill and Dot are, but now the
And what was their address again? What?
Bill and Dot are 108 Fern,
Okay.
but their house is in pretty good shape. I'm not gonna tell you what the foundation's like, but their house itself is in pretty good shape.
Well,
Pruitt Ginsburg, he called me also.
yeah.
He's at 110 and 112. And then the Orsons, they called me also.
Okay. Are they, any of those signed up for the buyout
Yeah,
program?
the Orsons at 108, they're signed up for the buyout program. And it's in an estate, there's 3 children involved in that. But anyway, we'll pass on what y'all are telling me today, and then I'm sure they'll be in contact.
Absolutely, they can call in. I know we did receive quite a few emails, and I've got some up here. The Gentrys have contacted them, and quite a few others so that there's a better understanding on the program.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Mayor, question for Heath. When we send out the notices, I presume today or tomorrow, will it include any suggestion or recommendation that if they haven't signed up for the buyback program, they should?
So I actually have a copy of that notice right here.
Okay. Oh, is that what that is?
And I'll read it. What it says is, to whom it may concern, you are being provided with notice of the clean and lien resolution pursuant to the attached resolution and Village of Ruidoso Ordinance, Section 3881 et al., as applied to your property. The attached notice of resolution and this form is being provided in accordance to Section 3881 of Village Ordinances. Upon receipt of this notice, the affected property owner has the following procedure. Property owner begins tear down of offending structure or file a written notice with the village clerk within 10 days of this notice, Section 3881C. B, if the property owner files a written notice of objection due to participation in the Lincoln County Emergency Watershed Protection Program, EWPP, or any other reason, the village council will have a hearing on the resolution, Section 38-81D. C, for property owners participating in the EWPP, the village will work with the property owner to ensure that requirements of this resolution and the EWPP are met. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And then there's form on the back, and this is going to be sent out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mayor, councilors, if I may, if there are no other,
There is, Heath.
Right here, here's one. State your name.
My name is Wes Shank, and I am an owner with my wife Dana of 141 Fern Trail. And we currently have an open, active, in good standing building permit. We're in the process of rebuilding that.
I think we were
that's
going
what I
to,
was getting ready to
yeah,
talk
we're going to
about.
address that.
So,
Well, good.
You want to go ahead and address that?
yes, sir, yes. So Mr. Shake is correct. They do have an open and active permit. They have confirmed with their contractor that they are about 20% completion towards the finalization. I will tell you this property was impacted by flooding, but it was not substantially damaged. So it did not need to meet that 50% threshold. Their estimate for repairs were $42,000.
Less than half the value.
It was
What'd
less
you
than
say
half
your
the value.
address was again?
141 Fern.
Okay, yeah.
And so they have engineered drawings showing that they are taking all measures to make sure that their home will withstand some flooding impacts in the future. So I would recommend.
Recording stopped.
And so we'll have a motion to exclude yours.
Excellent.
Okay?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, anyone else that was in this list? Because we're going to have more. Yes, ma'am?
Mine is down further down.
Just wait, if you're on number 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, we'll do them. I want to address these one at a time. Is there anybody else that's in
Yep.
Fern Trail? And, hey Angie, go ahead.
Hi. Okay, I'm 136 Fern Trail, and I'm good with everything that has been decided and said today. My question is, if a property owner has evidence that it's part of the buyback program, it was said the village would cease and desist. Do I still write my letter of objection and send that
Yes,
in?
yes, you would. And we have our land attorney here, yes, do go ahead. But now, the way we're working is it when it's just covering all your bases. Because if we have a letter stating that you're in the buyout program, we're going to set you out anyway. Take you out of the clean and lean.
Are we going to get any confirmation? They said they would today, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, the county, I don't want to speak for them, but what he said earlier is he's sending the letter out. They're going to move through this as quickly as possible to try to let people know.
Okay, thank
Mayor,
you.
council, Angie, yeah, there should be, whenever the county sends you that letter, there should be a unique code, correct, on each document that goes to the homeowners. And then that's what I would put in my 10-day objection resolution paperwork, is that,
The unique number.
yeah, that unique number that's associated with that property directly.
So I should get that this week?
I mean, they said they already mailed out
They
half of
mailed
them,
them
right?
out.
But
half
even
of
if you
them.
don't,
Mailed.
even if you don't, you still want to be within that 10 days
Yeah.
and say something.
Oh, my letter's
I am
written.
in this.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to give you
Yeah.
my letter.
That's good.
Do not tear this down, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on that group? Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of adoption of Resolution 2026-24, 101 Slay Road, 2026-25, 103 Slay Road, 2026-26, 1019 Main Road, 2026-27, 125 Fox Drive, 2026-28. Don't have an address there.
113 Fox
113
Drive.
Fox.
Okay. What was it again?
113.
Fox Drive.
Okay, excuse me. 113 Fox Drive, 2026-29, 108 Fern Trail, 2026-30, 136 Fern Trail. I'm explicitly omitting 2026-31, 141 Fern Trail, going back to 2026-32, 142 Fern Trail, 2026-33, 144 Fern Trail, resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance.
Second.
Okay, we have any further discussion?
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to make a comment there. It's crunching down on the time frame, but I just want to be assured the county will have these letters out today, tomorrow, so that gives the residents plenty of snail mail time, I should say, that they receive it, because I know that can take 5 days to 7 days for that letter to get out.
But they can still contest it even if they don't.
Even if they don't. Okay, so that buys them more time and getting everything into moving forward.
Right. I'd like to, while we're in discussion, I want to recognize the land attorney. That's you, Mike. Just have a question for you. Yes, sir. Come on up to the microphone. Since we were discussing earlier that we had addresses that the county had listed that was different than what they previously known, how do we rectify that?
Well, the best way is that even if you've applied for this program, it sounds like they're not going to have everything to us in time, but the fact that you've done it so that the landowner should go in and bring us a written objection themselves.
And that'll do it. Okay.
That'll cover it, and just say you're in the program, that way we know that we can then look it up and call the county and say, hey, is this person in the EWPP, just because they don't appear on our list yet.
Okay.
So that's the best way for everybody to do it. Even if you don't have a letter from the county, you don't need that. You just need to have there'll be attached a piece of paper that says, I have a written objection. There's actually a check mark, say I've joined the program, or you can just write it out on the second part.
If they're just emailing me, can I print them out?
Yes,
Okay.
an the
Or
email
text
will
them in?
count. Yeah, and it should be delivered to the village clerk.
Okay,
That's
to the clerk.
what the statute, or
Yeah,
the
so they
ordinance
need to
says.
send it to the clerk. Don't rely on me to
Right.
make sure I get the right one.
Yes.
Mayor,
Okay.
council, just so one question. So for anybody listening, if they were to write an objection,
Yes.
obviously not everyone is an attorney and they don't know how to properly object. What would be proper verbiage or anything in that documentation that they send to the village clerk that would indicate their objection to this program?
Say, I object to this resolution against my property.
that's easy.
That's it. And we would ask that you give us a reason, but actually that does trigger, and it's not going to always have to happen because a lot of these are going to fall into the EWPP. But if you have a reason that's outside of the EWPP, Mr. Schenk, who just was here, that was a perfect reason. He's already, he's met all the codes and he's willing to go forward. But, even though it's like, I don't like this and I don't want to participate, then the council will then have a hearing on that later on where the reasons will be debated, and then we would be able to start the clean and lean process that way as well. So just write a piece of paper or an email to the village clerk that says, I object to this, and then that'll put you on a list. And if you don't fall under EWPP, it'll be a slightly longer process because we'll have to jump through the hoops of having a hearing on that resolution.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, before we vote, the county's website is lincolnready.com. Lincolnready.com. So you can go there and get all your information. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Brophy?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Okay, I think we made it through that one, so we kind of all understand how we're working. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on adoption of resolutions 2026-34, 145 Fern Trail, 2026-35, 146 Fern Trail, 2026-36, 148 Fern Trail, 2026-37, 152 Fern Trail, 2026-38, 153 Fern Trail, 2026-39, 151 Fern Trail. Resolution 2026-40 is 1012 Main Drive. 2026-41 is 928 Main Road. 2026-42 is 100 North Loop Road. And 2026-43 is 106 Bradford Drive. Resolutions, findings, finding the properties of public nuisance. So anybody that was in those addresses, are you here that wants to speak? And let me know if there's any, can we talk to them online? Okay. Anybody? Okay. All right.
Do we have to go through all of them?
You
You
can,
could just adopt the resolution and the number.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Ms. Question Asker.
Well, but the numbers are, I mean, I move that we accept adoption of Resolution 2026-34.
You can stop there.
Well, we got a bunch of,
Well, then you
I
can
know.
do each one.
yeah, each one of them was -34, then -35.
145 Fern Trail, 2026-35, 146 Fern Trail, 2026-36, 148 Fern Trail, 2026-37, 152 Fern Trail, 2026-38, 153 Fern Trail, 2026-39, 151 Fern Trail, Resolution 2026-40, 1012 Main Drive, 2026-41, 928 Main Road, 2026-42, 100 North Loop Road, and 2026-43, 106 Bradford Drive, resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance.
Second.
Okay, any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
And Counselor Brophy.
Okay. Item number 9, discussion and possible action on adoption of resolutions 2026-44, 139 Singing Pines Road, 2026-45, 141 Singing Pines Road, 2026-46, 623 Main Road, 2026-47, 109 Fox Drive, 2026-48, 211 Coyote Lane, 2026-49 is 215 Coyote Lane, 2026-50 is 313 Main Road, 2026-51 is 300 Main Road, 2026-52 is 204 Main Road, and 2026-53 is 202 Main Road. Resolutions finding the properties of public nuisance. Is there anybody wants to speak to this? Yes, sir. If you would just state your name and the property.
My name is Race Collins, 313 Main Road.
Okay.
We are currently signed up for the buyback program, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, if you're signed up, then we're gonna we're giving this list to the county and the NRCS program, and then we'll get a notice, and then, we'll make sure it's out of there. But do you feel like he still should sign up?
To be clear, Mayor, so we will not get the notice. You will get the notice from NRCS.
We got it.
And then we need a copy of that. That needs to go to the clerk.
Okay.
So I would still go ahead and sign up on our deal that says I want to be excluded.
Okay.
Yeah, or if you get something in the mail, be sure to respond to it.
Okay. We received it on the 21st, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Do we need a hard copy or an email, or? Can I get that from you, a card or something? Okay, thank you.
You better bring a stack of them.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt.
Mayor.
Yes.
This,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine, sweetheart. I think y'all covered everything, but I'm just gonna double check, because I'm here for 141 and 139 city fronts.
Make sure you're by the microphone so the folks online can.
Okay. Mainly for Scott Spurlock, who's not here.
Mhm.
He's the 141. Okay, so how does he get you, he's gonna get the letter saying he's in the buyout, the cleanup.
He
But he's
should,
in the buyout,
if he's in the buyout, he'll get the letter,
he'll get the letter.
or wherever he gets his mail to.
Okay, and then he just has to respond within 10 days, because he's all over America. And this man's never in the same place when I call him. Okay, and that's it. Now, if we'd signed up for the tear down, we need to tell them not to tear it down now?
We won't tear, yes,
Because
that
that's
you,
what he's saying, they're not gonna tear them down, so I don't have to.
well,
try
you need to make
contact
sure you're
them.
gonna be in the buyout, that you're, because that's saying I want to sign up.
Yeah.
Then they'll go through another process in the application.
Right.
And then if you get to the point where they're gonna buy your property, that's another thing. But,
Yeah.
yeah, let us know that, You know, you don't want it tore up.
Yeah, we don't want
Tore
to tear
down.
down. Okay, y'all have answered all my questions. God bless y'all.
All right, well, thank you. We'll
Thank you, Marie.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Okay, we have you'll make your motion?
Yep. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-44 through Resolution 2026-50.
But there's 20, 26, 53, 52, 51.
Oh, I
Yeah.
apologize. Through
Through
53.
53.
Through 53, ma'am. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Brophy?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
And Counselor Sanchez?
Okay, thank you. Item number 10, discussion and possible action on adoption of resolutions 2026-54, 105 Slay Road, 2026-55, 106 Slay Road, 2026-56 is 108 Slay Road, 2026-57 is 116 Main Road, 2026-58 is 114 Slay Road, 2026-59 is 116 Slay Road, 2026-60 is 120 Slay Road, 2026-61 is 125 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-62 is 127 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-63 is 137 Sleepy Hollow Road. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance. So somebody at that address? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Amanda Fedler. I'm representing the owner at 125 Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
There's no significant structural damage there, not more than 51%.
Okay.
So we just do the
Say no.
objection letter.
You say a rejection letter, and then we'll have to do, have they had an assessor or an engineer or somebody look at the property and say it's stable? And
Not yet.
have you had a contractor come in and say, this is what it's going to take to repair it?
I will line all that up.
And that's where the 50% rule
Yeah.
comes in. So, and if not, and it goes back, then it would have to be built to the new standards, you know, either up on piers, or there may be a retaining wall, there may be something that has to be done each property.
Okay.
Yeah, but sign the rejection letter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor
Anyone
Crawford,
else?
you have somebody online for this item as well.
Okay.
Yes, this is Chase Gentry, 116 Main Road. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I've already asked a couple questions in the chat, which have been answered, but I'd like to get some clarification on, we've entered into the buyback program, and the way I understand it, it's a voluntary program, or else clean and lean. But at the end of the buyback program, we get to decide, do we accept the buyback? What happens if we don't accept it? I'm told to reach out to the county to see what will happen next, but the clean and lean is not a county program, correct?
Correct. No, if you do not accept the buyout program, then it would be subject to the clean and lean. And that's where the engineering company and all those experts have looked at it, either deemed it's in the floodplain, it's unsafe, that it needs to be torn down, and that's where that discussion would start. You have anything to add?
No, sir, that's it.
So it's, and then if you decide you want to keep that property, if it's not included in the buyout, and you're not in the clean and lean, but you clean the property up, and it's not in danger anymore, then who knows, it'll be your property. I just don't know what you do with it for some time.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay?
That's all I had.
All right.
Mayor.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I just wanted to make one thing.
You'll come
Hold
to
on,
the-
John, come to the microphone so it's recorded.
And you're at
127 Sleepy Hollow Road.
Sleepy Hollow, yeah, that's right.
Part of the buyout program is requiring that we notify them of any payments that we've received. that includes, from what I really understood, was structures only. However, the letter that we got on the buyout identifies programs that y'all are talking about that are going to help y'all fund. So my only concern is that I have signed a document with the county that says, no, I didn't get any money, and I'm not going to get any money. So in the event that one of those really intelligent federal people see my address and then come back on me years down the line and say, you're double dipping, we want our money back. So that's the only thing I wanted on the public record, that this jeopardizes that if there's a mistake made for the property owner.
I know that if there's been any insurance payments that have been paid, they'll subtract those.
Right.
I'm not familiar with anything else.
Well, all these federal programs that you're talking about are listed under the FEMA program.
Right.
And that's double dipping. If you submitted that on 127 Sleepy Hollow, we spent $50,000 tearing it down, then they come back to me and said, didn't you own 127 Sleepy Hollow? That's my only concern.
That was in the previous PDR, whatever, and that's not going to be included. What they're looking at is if you've gotten insurance proceeds
I understand.
of all of that, because we have had some folks that have gotten significant amounts that didn't want to disclose them, but they're going to find out. And so,
Well, it's fine, because let me tell you, I've done this for almost 3 years, and there's a lot of mistakes been made. But my one mistake that I'm concerned about is coming back on me because of that address. You're saying 127 Sleepy Hollow? If that address does not need to go in, what I'm saying, on any paperwork from the city as to this clean and lean program, and because I'm in the buyout.
right.
And it's going to happen.
Nothing will happen on ours. That's what I'm saying. Once we've cross-checked it, yours will be removed from that once your deal's done. Now, we always have what ifs, and that's what we have a lot of those. What if at the last second I decide I don't want to do it, and I want y'all to clean it up, but I want to retain ownership? That'll be part of it as long as they pay the clean lien. Yours will not be reflected in your buyout at all.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure
I agree.
on the same page.
Well, it's not like you
Thanks,
hadn't
John.
been told some stories before.
Well, a lot of the folks that we deal with don't know the difference between come here and sick 'em, and I don't want to be on the sick 'em list.
I understand with you. Okay, so we have,
I move that we
Mayor,
accept
Council, if I may?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. So 120 Slay, I need to make the council aware that they have submitted a permit for reconstruction. This home was flood impacted last year, but it was not, again, substantially damaged. Their permit is still in the approval process. It has not been finalized. We do have plans, but I wanted to make the council aware of that.
Which one was
Which
that?
one?
120 Slay.
On the first one. That was on the 7 items.
It's Resolution 2026-60.
Yeah, it's in this one.
It's in this
Yeah.
round.
So do we need to omit that then from our motion?
Well, I wanted to make
Should
you
be.
aware of that. Yeah, I mean, so they are requesting a permit, and they have currently met all of the ordinance guidelines.
Okay.
I move that we accept adoption of resolutions 2026-54 through 2026-63, excluding 2026-60, 120 Slay Road.
Second.
okay. Any final discussion?
Counselor
Roll call.
Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
And Counselor Brophy?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Item number 11, discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2026-64, 141 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-65, 118 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-66, 112 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-67, 110 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-68, 108 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-69, 106 Sleepy Hollow Road, 2026-70, either 107 or 114 Leach Street. We'll have to get those squared away. In any of those that we have a difference, we'll work through those with the county. 2026-71 listed at 110 Leach Street, but known as 108. 2026-72 is 107 Ash Drive, and 2026-73, 135 Ponderosa Drive. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance, and in the motion, you can exclude my extra comments about the addresses. Is anybody out there? Yes, ma'am.
So 141 Sleepy Hollow Road,
Okay,
there is almost zero damage to that property.
okay.
The windows are boarded up. Do I need to unboard them?
No, just fill out the form that says I don't want to participate in this program, and then we'll go through the process of verifying that the house is in stable
Correct,
condition.
yes. So if they appeal in that 10-day process, then we'll have a separate hearing where you can provide evidence to the contrary.
Showing that it's in a good spot.
118 Sleepy Hollow, that's also the same. The garage is knocked out in the back porch, but there's nothing
Wrong with the-
house-wise.
Okay,
112 Sleepy Hollow is a vacant lot.
okay,
And 110 Sleepy Hollow is waiting on Village of Ruidoso's approval to DHS for them to remove that house. We've been waiting since December of 2025.
so is that we've been waiting on the PPDR program?
That's what it sounds like to me, Mayor.
That because of the way PPDR is a FEMA project, and while the government shut down, there's been a lot of these things that have been slowed down. So if it's already on the 110 Sleepy Hollow Road, will you just make a separate note of that?
So again, Mayor, I would just advise the individual to just appeal and provide your justifications for the appeal. And then when we have that hearing, you can bring all that
What
evidentiary.
about for the vacant lot? Still have to appeal for a
I don't
vacant
know
lot
that-
that's already been
Yeah,
cleaned up by DHS?
that one I don't know. That one we'll have to circle back on, Mayor, and I'll get you an answer.
Okay,
Well, if there's nothing there,
yeah.
nothing there.
Empty.
To clean. Okay, anybody else? Josh, you got something?
Mayor Crawford, we have one online.
Okay. Teresa Mayer?
Meyer, please.
Meyer?
Yes, hi.
Hello?
Thank you for your time. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
hear me? Okay, thank you. Members of the council, on behalf of my mother, Carol Meyer, 135 Ponderosa Drive, I am her power of attorney, and I am speaking to the council in regards to her property at that address. My mother is elderly, and we also, back in July, suffered the loss of my dad, who was also an owner in this property, Robert Meyer, a retired City of Albuquerque police officer and a retired senior chief petty officer with the United States Coast Guard's Reserves. My mother herself is a retired registered nurse of 45 years. Now, the property at 135 Ponderosa Drive has been secured, and we have cooperated with the debris removal program by signing a right of entry. That was actually completed last year, and I went online yesterday and updated that, and if there is any further need to do that, we shall do so. However, we have not been provided with a substantial damage determination or any engineering report showing that the structure must be demolished rather than repaired. Before any irreversible action is taken, we respectfully ask that the town confirm whether this property will be evaluated for available federal or state recovery programs, including the debris removal or buyout options, okay? And that those are fully considered. Demolishing the structure now before that evaluation could significantly reduce the property's value and create financial harm to my mother. We are asking that any demolition be paused until there is a clear documentation and these options are evaluated. We have not received any feedback from the county, even though we have indicated that we are interested in the buyout program. We have also been in the process of working with the National Flood Insurance Program as to getting any kinds of settlements in that regard. We are wanting to know if we are going to receive from the Village of Ruidoso a substantial damage determination letter. We would like to know if there is an engineer's report and what methods and what information can you provide to us that you have effectively evaluated this property, okay? And that this determination to demolish the property is due to the substantial damage, because we have no documentation from the village. And as it stands, the National Flood Insurance Program has indicated that, you know, that's our next step. So I am wondering if we are kind of jumping the gun here. And we're asking, as a collective group, myself, my mother, and my my siblings, that we pause this action, because we do not have a substantial damage determination. We do not have an engineering report. We don't have any documentation from the village that shows
Okay, Ms. Meyer.
substantially damaged.
Yes, thank you. Have you been listening to the rest of the?
I have, sir.
Okay,
And-
well, then you can go to lincolnready.com to sign up for the buyout program.
Okay, you're not hearing me, sir. Okay? I have read the statement. The statement is we have signed up for the buyout program.
Okay.
We have submitted a right of entry. I have spoken on several different occasions to your county development person, Mr. Koenig. We have not received any kind of documentation from the village of how you've determined that this property has been substantially damaged. And we would like that information, and we would like a pause, because we would like to know what the options are for the buyout, because we have not received that letter indicating that we are part of that program, and we have requested, and we have submitted that on 3 separate occasions now.
Mayor, Council, if I may. So 2 things. The substantial damage indication, that is separate from the buyout, first and foremost. You don't need that to be a part of the buyout. I will follow up on that and see where that letter is and why it wasn't done. Ma'am, I do have a question for you. Did you ever hire a contractor to determine what the cost of repairs would be for your property?
We have been waiting on the information from the claims from the flood insurance program through Farmers Insurance. We have been tied up with that for months now.
Okay, so as I recall from last year, or actually 2024 even, the village instructed citizens to hire a contractor to provide an estimate for cost of repairs, and we would use that documentation to determine substantial damage. So if you have not done that, we would need that documentation outlining your repairs and what those costs are, so we could make that determination.
We do have the adjustment from the separate claims from the flood insurance program.
Okay, but the adjustment wouldn't actually address the repairs, does it?
Yes, it does, sir. It does it line item by line item, and
Okay.
actually,
So,
it does show a total cost of what those repairs would have been. Our goal for my mother, okay, is to participate in the buyout program, okay? But we need to know that we're part of this buyout program, and we have not received any documentation. We have requested, we have shown interest, not just once, but several times now, and we have not received any documentation in the mail. Now, my question is, have you been sending her mail to her address, 135 Ponderosa Drive? Because she is at another address now. And that has been updated with the County of Lincoln when she went to their office to update information after my dad passed away.
so to be clear, the village has no response in the buyout program. We are not communicating anything on behalf of the county. Only the county is operating that program. They're the sponsor. So I can't answer that question, unfortunately, council, mayor. If Yvonne, if you would place my email in the chat, Ms. Meyer, if you would email me your insurance documentation, and I will research your substantial damage letter, see if we can get at least that part taken care of. But again, the substantial damage letter has no bearing on the EWP buyout program. The one does not require the other.
Sir, I understand that the programs are separate, okay? But we have done the work to apply for each program, and we have not received any documentation back from the county, okay, indicating that they've accepted my mother for the buyout program and what the next steps would be, okay? So that information, okay, is something that we definitely need from the county, okay? But we also have not apparently, my question to the county or to the village at this meeting is, what have we, how have you determined that this structure is non-repairable and needs to be torn down? And also, too, we don't have a certificate of substantial damage. And you're rushing to force us to tear down the property until we can evaluate and determine that we've been accepted to these programs and that any federal requirements have been met on behalf of the buyout program. I've been listening. I understand everything. It's just that I think that this is kind of like a rush. And we are requesting that you pause that because we do want to participate in this program, and we want the documentation from the County of Lincoln, and we don't want to be in a situation where we have to rush to do something. So we would appreciate that this action be taken off the table and revisited at another time. Thank you.
Do you have any response, Keith?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else? Okay. I'll move forward. I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt resolutions 2026 through 2026, pardon me?
2026-64 through.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. I move that we accept the adoption of resolutions 2026-64 through 2026-73. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
And Counselor Brophy.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Item number 12, discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2026-74, 130 Brady Canyon Road, 2026-75, 103 Hiding Place, 2026-76, 205 Country Club Drive, 2026-77, 210 Country Club Drive, 2026-78, 367 River Trail, 2026-79, 438 River Trail, 2026-80, 436 River Trail, 2026-81, 417 River Trail, 2026-82, 320 River Trail, and 2026-83, 152 Robin Road. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance. Is there anybody that wants to speak to that? Any of these addresses? Okay, and we understand we'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve adoption resolution 2026 through 74 through 2026-83, resolution finding the properties a public nuisance.
Second.
Final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
And Counselor Brophy.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Item number 13, discussion and possible action on adoption of resolutions 2026-84, 147 Robin Road, 2026-85, 123 Robin Road, 2026-86, 107 Robin Road, 2026-87, 101 Robin Road, 2026-88, 666 Sudderth Drive, 2026-89, 664 Sudderth Drive, 2026-90, 654 Sudderth Drive, 2026-91, 642 Sudderth Drive, 2026-92, 123 Paradise Canyon Drive, and 2026-93, 102 Meander Drive. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance. Is there anybody who wants to speak to this?
Hello?
I feel like I see you guys a lot. So just to let everybody know who I am, some of you guys are new and I've never met, or I think I've met you a few times. We own the owned the Ruidoso Village RV Park, which is right between La Salsa and your Chamber of Commerce building. Now, we are prime buyback program. We've been told since the buyback program was a thing in 2024 that we have prime property, that this is where a lot of the flood prevention can go. So we applied for the buyback program last year after we lost our business, our house and one of two of cabins. So we rebuilt because the buyback program didn't go through. We toughed it out. We were Ruidoso strong, only to be met with another even worse flood only 4 months later after opening. Now, we moved here. We have 3 kids in the school system. We consider ourselves active participants in the community. We moved here to make it a good place to have a business and create our life. And we've done everything that you guys have asked us to do, and we appreciate everything that you guys have done for us as well, because we know that some people weren't as lucky as we were. So you guys said we needed to tear our house down, so we tore our house down. You said we needed to tear our cabin down, we tore our cabin down, only to be told that we may or may not get paid for that now that we're a part of the buyback program, which is horrific, because we signed all the paperwork and kind of trusted what was told, but we were in a rush, and people didn't like the way that it looked for tourists coming down Sudderth. So we did that, we rebuilt. We got hit again last year, 2025, and we decided we weren't gonna do it. We were lucky enough that we got all of our campers out in time and nobody was injured. We didn't lose any property either. other than our last cabin and the few things that we had left from our business. So again, we signed up for the PPDR because people were starting to bully us a little bit online. We said, hey, you guys, we're on this list. Trust us. We want it clean too. So we were patient, and the PPDR came through and cleaned us up for the second time. We were very grateful for that. They just finished about 2 weeks ago. So of course, when the buyback program became an option again, we were very excited, a little hesitant, but excited. Maybe it'll go through this time. A lot more of us were affected in this last flood than in 2024. And I think that we can all kind of get a clear picture of what this summer is going to look like, right? So we signed right up. We were told on March 25th, top of the list, we'll let you know next week. You're going to be getting a letter. Never heard anything. So we went again, 4/15. Oh, you guys, they're doing your stuff tomorrow. We're going to send you a letter this week. Well, here we are. What is it, the 27th? We have yet to receive anything except for now this. Now we're considered a public nuisance. I feel like we've followed all of the protocols and everything that you guys have asked. We've taped everything off to try to keep people safe because, it is pretty gnarly on that side of town. Did the PPDR again. And again, we feel like we're in another rush. So now we're being told that we're a nuisance property and just wait for the buyback program. Well, I'm telling you guys right now, we are in prime buyback location. If they would want anybody's properties, it's all of these and my neighbors, 664, 642, 666. We're all active members in this buyback program. We've called Jason Burns, we've left voicemails, we've never heard anything back. We see him at the meetings, we shake his hand, we ask our questions. It'll be next week, it'll be next week. Well, I called this morning after finding that we're on this list. Like, hey, what can I do? Because I just want them to know that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, but the time frame is out of our hands. Sarah with the county told me this morning that Laura Doff is not in the office, and she hasn't been or will not be in the office for the next 2 to 3 weeks, which is why the letters are not going out. And I'm not sure why Mr. Burns didn't tell everybody that they changed it again. They're not sending out physical letters like they told us that they were going to send out via snail mail. They're sending them via email. And when they started, this is what we were told, when they started sending out the batches of emails last week, it downed their system. So now they're having to send out small batches of emails. We haven't gotten anything. I called today. She said it'll be probably another 2 to 4 weeks. I made sure that we were still on the list, that we had still had all the things done. So I'm just begging you guys, please, on this item 13, just please consider not rushing it. I mean, we are all, if the buyback is going to happen, we're all going to get bought out because they have to have that river stretch. There's no coming back from what happened the year before, last year, and sadly what's going to happen this year. And I don't want anybody else to get hurt. I sat up here in 2024 and begged you guys not to let us keep living Groundhog's Day. And we're still living it. And now we're getting punished, it feels like, on a time frame that we have zero control over. We have done everything. We've filled out every form. We have, even today, I called before I even got here, just out of fear that something else is going to get in the way of this. I called Gina at your office, and I called Sarah at the county. How can I make this work? Well, I was told nothing is going to officially take us off of the lean and clean to give us time to just hear back from the buyback. So please, please, please consider just letting this one go a little bit longer. These people on the river, we have nothing left, you guys, and we are all signed up for the buyback. And I was checking my post office box every single day since March 25th, since they told me it would be a week. I've been checking every single day. And I was told today now that it's emails, so I'll be checking my email every single day. But the confusion and the time loss that it's taking the county shouldn't be the landowner's burden, because we are in charge of so many different things that we're trying to take care of. We have to make sure we sign our right of entries. We have to make sure that we are checking our post office box, or if there's another buyout meeting, or if there's another village meeting. I mean, we have so much burden and stress on our backs that putting us in a 10-day time frame that we know isn't going to work. I mean, we're not going to get them in 10 days. They've been telling us since the 25th we'll get them in 7. So Please don't add more stress to your community, to the people who moved here, who love this village, who have kids in the system, who go to the games. Please don't put any more pressure on us. Just give us a little bit of time. Let the buyout happen. Let Laura Doff come back from vacation, or let their email system be okay so that they can send out emails, or their printer works so they can print snail mail. I don't know. All of that is out of my control. But what is in our control is applying for the buyout. And I understand that all we have to do is sign a letter or create a form saying that we reject it. But please don't make us do that. Please don't add one more thing on our backs, because we are trying really hard and we have monsoon season approaching. And for those of us who have been in the floods with the people, it's really hard. It's a really traumatic time. So adding this on top of everything else, I'm just begging you guys, please consider delaying this resolution for the people on Sutters. We would all greatly appreciate it, because we are all signed up and we have cleaned up and we have, we are checking constantly. We want this to go as fast as you guys do. This isn't what we moved here for. It isn't what you guys moved here for. None of this fire and flood was our fault, but it's becoming our burden, and it's my everyday burden. And I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you guys would just give us a little more time so that buyback can get back to us, because that's out of our control. Thank you.
Didn't the manager say a while ago that they mailed them out yesterday?
He
Half
said
of
they were
them?
going out.
I talked to them this morning, and she said there will be no snail mail. It will only be via email, and that their system has been crashed. That's why I was trying to raise my hand before he left, because I was like, that's not, it's so hard, because nobody, not even you guys, all of this is so foreign and new to all of us, and we're just trying to pick up the pieces and live our lives and be moms and dads and business owners. We want to start another business here in Ruidoso, but we can't until this is behind us. And we can't move any faster than the county moves. And when the county is moving real slow and you guys are saying you have 10 days, we know there ain't no way we're getting a letter in 10 days from today.
Yvonne, can you give her a piece of paper and say, I'm just asking Mayor, just to say, I reject this?
It's on there right now.
Mayor, Counselor, if I may, so that the resolution has just a simple box. You just check, I object.
I understand, but you guys shouldn't even be passing these, knowing that the county hasn't even given out the letters to all the people who.
But remember, the Village of Ruidoso is also, and I know that's not your problem, but it is a problem for us as well. All you have to do is say, I reject that, and put your name and your address, and.
Do you understand, but do you?
We've had a deadline just given to us recently, and we've waited for the buyout program to get done. And that's what's held all this up, is getting it pushed through to get the financing for the 70 million that we had to have for the 235.
But what do we do on day 15 and we still haven't gotten a letter and we can't get a call back?
No, you've already said, I opt out. We're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you guys can still do it for?
No.
And I don't even understand how our specific property ended up on it, since we already had PPDR come do it.
Well, this is a buyout, and so all you're saying is you want to participate in the buyout. It may take 60 days. I don't know how long it's going to take them to come and do an appraisal and work on your property. All this is telling our team, leave it alone, bypass it.
Don't touch your property.
Yeah,
And that's all we're asking you to do is fill, and I understand you guys have filled out tons of paperwork. We all have, and we've been promised this and that, but we finally have gotten money for the program, and we were able to get the matching, which is a miracle too, and to do the buyout. All we're saying is sign that, saying I want to leave my property alone. It will be taken out of the clean and lien until that your option for the buyout is exhausted.
You're not going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
You
Well,
sign
she's not worried
that.
about getting in trouble.
Well, that's what
It's that-
she was just worried about.
She's worried that we're going to come take her
Lean and clean.
lean and clean, and we're not doing that. As long as you let us know, we don't want, and that's the other folks that were in here too, that they filled out the paper and going to, saying, leave my property out of it, I'm contesting it. And what we're doing is we turn this in and we're showing that FEMA, we're moving forward. We've placated, drug our feet, everything against them as long as we can until we got to this position right now. And the county's been good enough that they're going to spearhead this, because it's going to take all of us. to get this through, and that's when they finally gave the RFP, the request for proposals to the appraisers, and they're supposed to be deployed. That's when they should be coming by your property, but they were letting.
They were. I
Uh-huh.
mean, every time we see them, they say, oh, they're gonna be there tomorrow, or they were there yesterday.
Well, but they just approved them last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
See, but that's where the fear comes in, is that we're being told one thing,
And I
and it
get
feels
it.
like you're just kicking us down the road to get us, you know, and we're waiting patiently, like our patience is, like y'all's, probably running real thin. But we're trying to wait patiently to hear back from them, and we're not hearing anything, only to get a letter, be on this list of lean and clean, you know, it's like,
Yeah, just sign
What are
that
we
with your
supposed to do?
address on there, whichever ones that represent you
so
on
can you
those.
guys deny this?
No.
No. Yeah, no.
No, that's
your legal.
telling us stop and we're moving forward.
So I will not be penalized in any
No.
way, shape, or form for
No.
filling this out? Okay.
Not at all. That's just, we're trying to get people to respond to us, to let us know, and we've run the course of this, getting this buyout program initiated and getting the appraisers and everybody hired and getting them out there, and we've run out of time. That's why we've had to do this, to notify, so we can show FEMA that we're moving forward. We don't want to get out there and do anything we're not supposed to do. We're waiting for the buyout, and then the ones that aren't going to get bought out for whatever reason, which I have a feeling all these pretty much are on that list.
Well, and I know I'm not the only person who feels like this, because
Sure.
there was 250 people that applied for the buyout, and I think I know 4 or 5 that have actually gotten a letter. So I know that things take time, and that's why I'm just begging you guys just leave this one alone. Number 13, just leave it alone
Well,
for a
we
while.
can't. We have to make a move on these things, or if you heard the ones that we said before, the lady came in and had, I believe it was a lady or a gentleman, they had a contractor, they were moving forward.
Building
They've been
permit.
working, so we can exclude them. That's their saying, I don't want you messing with my property. And we're like, okay, you're off the list. That's all you're doing, is saying, I want off the list. We want you off the list too.
Okay.
And then we've got plenty of other things that we've got to do. We're not trying to do anything that you don't want us to do. We're hoping you get the buyout. We hope you get what you want. And then we can look at detention ponds or whatever it's going to take for that property there and across the river. So that's what it is. Just put down your address. You have more than one, don't you?
No, sir.
Oh, it's just the one? I
Yes,
thought
sir.
it was.
But take a few of those and give them
Yes,
to your
it's my
neighbors, please.
neighbors. Yeah, my
Yep,
neighbors
take a
who
few of
couldn't
those
be here
copies,
today.
give them to your
Have them
neighbors.
fill that out, the back. It's very simple, and all that does is go to our department to let them know, stay off of that one, and we go to the other ones.
Well, like Keith was saying too, it'll trigger that response for follow-up.
Correct.
Yes.
Which then the follow-up, they'll come to you and say, hey, you signed this. It says you don't want to participate in this program. What's the reason, right? Because that was one of the requirements, was like someone stated a reason as to why. You could
Buyback.
state your
Buyback.
reason is
Yeah, or buyback.
buyback.
So on the
Waiting on the
resolution,
buyback.
there,
I've already
there,
And then
applied.
that automatically waives the 10 days from today.
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't have to worry about
100%
getting
that
a
waives
letter
the
in
10
10
days.
days.
No.
Okay.
That was my concern at the very beginning, and when, no, this just stops anything from
Yep.
moving forward.
This buys you
after
all
the
that
10.
time that you're looking for.
Okay,
And then we don't do anything to your property.
okay. Well, thank you guys.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you very much.
Keep being Rito so strong, and thank you for investing in our community.
I make a motion that we adopt resolutions 2026-84 through 2026-93, resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance.
Second.
Did we get a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam.
any
So
other
quiet.
discussion?
Hey, Adam.
Whispering. Okay, roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
And Counselor Brophy.
Aye.
Okay. Item number 14, discussion and possible action on adoption. Yes. Oh, you were in that one? Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Come in and sit down. I'm sorry, we already passed it. I wasn't paying attention.
Not a problem. I'm Danny Garcia. Was born and raised here in Ruidoso many years ago. And, well, more years than I like to think about, but I own the property at 101 Robin Road. And I bought it prior to the fire in '24. I can't remember how many months or days before it. And ever since that property, I have a lot of sentimental value in that property because I was born there. I was born right under that pine tree in the middle of the road. My dad was backing my mom up to take me down to Doc Horton's office, and my mom told him, "That's enough, no further." My dad sent my older sister down, and Doc Horton came out and slapped me a couple of times, and oh, here I am. Well, anyway, I don't really want to sell that on that property because of the value it has to me. But I do want to clean it up. I don't want you all to get to the point to where you have to lien it. I'm very much in favor of cleaning it up myself. I'm capable of doing it. I'm a general contractor here. I've been a general contractor for over 30 years. I've been building in Ruidoso for over 40 years. And my dad before me and most of my family members along that route. So I want to know if there's going to be much problem with me getting a permit to destroy the property there, to tear down the building and clean it up and go on from there.
No, that's the intent of this whole
Yes.
thing, and we've,
That's good.
and you could have done that anytime if you're not wanting the buyout.
Yes, sir.
We probably should have made that much more clear, but there's no problem with him getting a demo permit and.
No, sir.
And
Taking care
going
of it
in there and
yourself.
taking it down, and
Yes, sir.
there's no issue there. What you do need to do is let us know that you plan on doing that. That's what that 10 days is, to give us a decision on what you're doing. Either I'm opting out, leave me alone, or no response, because we get a lot of that these homes have been in trust. The great grandkids don't even come here anymore, that we can get these properties cleaned up.
Do I have to do that in writing to you all?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that
need to let us
document-
know on this form.
Yes, Mayor,
right
Council.
here.
Also, on the
give you
back of
this
this
one,
resolution
right
form that you're going to get, there's an I object, and you can say you're going to apply for a permit for your own demolition.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And just put it on there. If you don't, you have one of these?
Negative, sir.
Well, you can have mine.
Yep, you can have this one.
Or you can have that one.
Yeah, he's.
And that way you can go ahead and get started doing whatever, however you want to demo it.
Will do, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
You got it, Danny.
Thank you for
It's
your
good to
patience.
see you.
Good seeing you.
Appreciate you. So we,
That's 14.
we had a roll call,
Yep, we've already
and so
done
we'll
that.
move on to item 14.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Discussion of possible action on adoption of resolutions 2026-94-104 Meander Drive, 2026-95-108 Meander Drive, 2026-96-142 Meander Drive, 2026-97-136 Reese Drive, 2026-98-216 Gavilan Canyon Road, and 2026-99-203 Gavilan Canyon Road. Resolutions finding the properties a public nuisance. Is there anybody here that wants to speak to this one? Yes, come on down.
Orderica, Anita.
The county manager said that they're trying to respond via email to those that have emails, but some haven't provided their emails, so they're getting letters. And the letters just started going out, and there'll be another batch going out. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Anita Orderica. I have the property at 142 Meander Drive. And I know probably a lot of this has already been addressed, but we just recently purchased this property with less than 30 days ago. So I just wanted to know, and we've already got a permit, and we are demolishing,
You're demoing it yourself?
yeah. So if we just do that.
Just sign that piece of paper?
Okay.
Take that.
He just brought in a whole mess
No,
of them right
the-
there.
Oh,
Good
there
on
you
the
got a
layout.
bunch.
And then I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
So we own several properties on Meander Drive. And we have a lot of river debris that has come in from the river. And we can't get anybody to pick that up. We've contacted the city, we've contacted the state, we've contacted FEMA, we've contacted everybody. And a lot of these people are putting the cleanup that they're doing from the river on our properties. and we can't get anybody to clean that up. So we did speak to actually to the sanitation department this last week, and he says, well, you can hire somebody to do that. But it's not our debris, it's people that are just, from the street that are doing the river cleanup. So we were just trying to figure out what is that procedure that we can do to do that.
Well, go ahead, Heath.
Yes.
You have an answer
Mayor,
for the
council.
PPDR?
So, well, for PPDR, I'll let John, he's the professional in the room, talk about that. But if any of that debris can be taken to the right of way, the village will come pick it up.
On your street?
Okay, it is on the right of way. And we've called, actually, we spoke to John also. We
Okay.
called to the city, and the city said they couldn't pick it up because I guess it's like, I don't know, hazardous material. Call the state, so we called the state, we've called FEMA, we've called everybody.
Oh, this is not tree
So it's
debris,
not
this is
tree
home debris?
No, it's actually like dirt and, stuff that was pulled from the river that is on there. Mostly it's dirt, but it's on our properties. And we, I'm not sure, we try to maintain all of our properties. We have people, what do you call,
Yeah, illegal dumping?
yeah. But I don't know that it's that it was actually considered illegal because it was the people that were cleaning the street that were putting it out there. So I don't know if it was individual owners, but they're on our properties, which I know that doesn't have anything to do with the 142, but I was just kind of wondering if there was anybody we could contact. We've contacted everybody and nobody wants to pick up that debris. And we were told that the FEMA that their program ended on February the 22nd. So
True.
they will not do it. But the debris has been there previous to February.
What's the debris on April 30th?
April 30th, this program
That is to sign up for PPDR,
for PPDR.
yeah, for individual owners.
Because now it's back in action. Are you going to talk there, Mr. Moon?
I just want to say the right-of-way program, she is correct. The state's right-of-way program ended on the 20th of February. PPDR, had they left it on the properties, signed an ROE, we could have come and cleaned up the property and taken it away. At this point, we can't take anything, and I understand there's also some of the vegetative debris from the winter storm that came down that people are moving out there. Our hands are tied at this point. We cannot go back out there and pick up anything else.
Mayor, council, I'm sorry. But you didn't put this debris on your property?
No,
This
I
was
didn't.
other people, or now was this some of the subcontractors that you saw around town that were piling it there?
I guess a lot of the people whoever was the group that was putting in.
Did they have the stickers on their tractors, anything like
Yeah, that were
that?
pulling out the debris from the river.
Okay.
Cleaning up the river, so they went in and they put it, and we have property on the mountainside.
Got you. I know where you're at.
Okay, and so all of our property, we take good care of our properties. We have people that do the tree people, we hire yard people and everything.
But you did not physically dump that flood
We did
debris
not.
onto your property?
No, and we can't get anybody to pick it up. And like I said, we contacted the city, we contacted everybody, but they wouldn't do it. And then they did go and pick up some of the debris, and then somebody would go back in. So it's our property that they're always picking on. Like, we've got 3 properties on that street that are on the mountainside that everybody seems to pick on that property to keep putting the debris. And we don't
It
know.
sounds like there was an oversight somewhere on the pickup process.
Well, and this happens around town. People put it on private property, and it's just like John said, without the ROE and the programs end, and then it continues on, and then we're bound by the anti-donation. We can't go snowplow someone's driveway and not snowplow everybody, and it's similar. But what we'll do is, what's the address again? You're at 142 Meander?
142 is the one that I'm talking about, that we got a demolition from, but the properties that the trash is on is actually 125 and I believe it's 143 Meander Drive.
125 and it's on both of them?
Yes, sir.
Are they vacant? They're not vacant, you just got a big
Well,
front,
on
big yard.
143, there's a house right next, on 125, there's a property right next to it. So it's kind of like there's a mountain, it's just right in the road. There's a hill there. And then on 123, that's where our house is. So we actually they did put debris from the trees and stuff on top. So the city will come and they'll pick up that, but they leave all that that mud and river debris on that property. We also had another property at 149 Meander, but that one, they have cleaned that one, but they did not clean the other two.
But our solid waste guys, right, if it's on your property or whatever.
No, it's not on our property, it's on
the right of way,
it's
in
on
the
the
street.
right of way, right in the street.
So what we'll do is, you're saying 125 and 141?
143.
143 Meander. Let's make a note of that over there, and we'll go by and take a look at it and see how we can get it.
We can get our public works, to take a look at it. So it is on the roadway?
Road.
Yeah, it's on the roadway, yeah,
Okay.
like right off.
I was misunderstanding. I thought you said they were driving it to your property and dumping it on your property.
No.
Because we have another one of these in the county up behind Chisholm.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
somebody's dumped a bunch of stuff on it.
Yeah, no, okay.
Okay.
That's all I need.
All right, thank you very much.
I move to adopt resolutions 2026-94 through 2026-99.
Second.
Any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Brophy?
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll move back to item number 4. Discussion and possible action on the contract between the Village of Ruidoso and Garrison Tree Service and for thinning of North Ski Run Road utilizing New Mexico GSD State Price Agreement number 30, 5-22-3-23 in the amount of $323,047.87, including New Mexico GRT. Yes, sir.
Mayor Pro Tem, council members, this is a project that we're proposing to thin 135.73 acres. That's just north of Ski Run Road, and it's got an abundance of small junipers and smaller trees that have come up there, and it's one that the property also includes the golf course out there, this Frisbee golf course.
Yes, golf carts.
Yes. And the project itself will require tree spacing, require plucking or mastication of the small junipers, and those that they can't pluck or masticate because of rock, they'll poison with the poison to keep them from coming back. And
What's the, who makes that determination?
me?
Okay, so they're just not going to go through and poison everything and leave?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No,
Because that's our watershed that we're.
Yeah, it's the same contractor that just did our work at Grindstone, and so he's familiar with what we require. It's pretty much the same requirement.
Okay. And the 323 is what's left, is in the money that's left from your grants?
Yes, the first grant was 500,000. This will come out of that, and there'll be, I don't know, about 75,000 left in that grant, plus we have the 750,000 grant after that.
Okay.
Mayor, council,
sir.
Dick, during the process of clearing this acreage, they're going to masticate everything, or they're going to drop and scatter? What's the process in which they're going to eliminate?
It'll all be removed or masticated.
Removed or masticated. Thank you, sir.
Where are they taking it to?
I beg your pardon?
Where are they taking it to?
They're taking it to.
Out there where we're
Irons.
stacking it? Awesome.
I was wondering, are we ready for at the airport to start hauling?
We've got a permit that we can start stacking, but we're still stacking it at the approved site irons.
Okay.
And then, once they start out here, they'll start processing and then taking it to the plant.
I was just thinking, since they're so close, just run it down the road over there.
Yeah, it would be nice, but no, it's not ready just yet.
So I do have a comment, Mayor and Council, and I'll call on Councilor Brophy. You said they're going to be working in the disc golf course, which, remember, Frisbee is a trademark name, so you don't use that on anything, so that's why it's called a disc golf course. But
he is right.
Building the first one here, T-Bone Design Mandos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those out there, and can you make sure he marks them so that they don't cut those mandatory shots in a hole where there's usually two obstacles, or trees, and you throw the disc between that? Do you have
So
those?
rifle, yes. On the course that you're talking about, there is 3 holes with mandatory obstacles. All the trees are marked and indicated with a white powder-coated metal frame sign with the actual logoing and an arrow on each one of those mandatory trees. So if it has a white sign on it, Dick, please don't cut it down.
Yeah.
Don't cut them.
Don't
Yeah,
cut those
or just
like
move it
that.
over to the next tree, you're fine.
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't damaged, since it did say they won't damage the disc golf course, so.
And if there is any issues or problems, please feel free to reach out to me and we can resolve them and come up with a solution.
You played disc golf.
I've been known to throw a Frisbee or two.
Okay.
And then he works. He mainly disc golf. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract between the Village of Ruidoso and Garrison Tree Service for thinning on North Ski Run Road utilizing NMS GSD State Price Agreement 30-5-22-3-23 in the amount $323,047.87, including NMGRT.
Second.
Okay, discussion? None? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Sanchez.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
And Counselor Brophy.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Dick.
Thank you, Dick.
Item number 5, discussion and possible action on task order number 2026-001P-03 with Souder Miller and Associates for professional engineering services for the water distribution and solid waste slope stability evaluation in the amount of $78,464.07. Hello, Levi.
Hey, Mayor, Council. So what this is during the flooding, we've had some erosion behind the water distribution building above solid waste. Dennis came out and did an inspection on it and submitted that to FEMA, and this is an obligated project with FEMA to do a geotech analysis. They're going to do 6 boring locations over there to do a slope stability analysis to tell us whether it's a concern right now and how we need to proceed forward with a design of that slope there.
Duke Engineering.
Dennis Dukes is who did the analysis, but this will be with Souder Miller.
Souder Miller?
Doing the.
Well, you said Dennis, and I just want to make sure we're talking about Duke Engineering.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Levi, is this going to be behind Jerry's the office building and behind your shop over there?
Yes, sir. It'll be both spots where it's caving off. Not the whole slope, I don't think, but it'll just be the 2 individual spots.
Okay. Any other questions?
I move that we accept task order 2026-001P-03 with Souder Miller and Associates for professional engineering services for the water distribution and solid waste slope stability evaluation in the amount of $78,464.07, including New Mexico GRT.
Second.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 6,
We have
discuss.
to vote.
Oh, we didn't vote, yeah. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Brophy.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
And Counselor Sanchez.
Aye.
All right, number 6, discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2026-23, a resolution for commitment to lease purchase agreement of a 2025 Caterpillar AP 455-07 asphalt paver utilizing Sourcewell pricing agreement number 011723-CAT in the amount of $471,000.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Council, what this is we are trying to get a new paver leased. We're having a lot of problems with our old paver. It's down there right now. We have a lot of projects going on, and if we do approve this, I mean, the paver is on its way already for a demo. They're allowing us to demo the paver while we are waiting to see what is going to come out of this.
Because we were borrowing the downs.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So nothing like getting a new paver by letting it break down right before season.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Was it?
When will we get it? How
Tomorrow
long?
is what I was
Tomorrow?
told.
Yes, sir. It is on it. It should be on its way to be here tomorrow. They are allowing us to demo the paver until
Till we vote on it.
Until you vote on it, yes.
Mayor, I move approval of Resolution 2026-23, a resolution for commitment to lease purchase agreement of a 2025 Caterpillar AP 455-07 asphalt paver utilizing Sourcewell pricing agreement number 011723-CAT in the amount of $471,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Salas? Counselor Brophy?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
And Counselor Sanchez?
Okay, thank you. Do we have anything for closed session?
Happy paving, Josh.
No?
Thank you.
Okay, and again, appreciate everybody's patience and the intent.
Before we close.
Can I finish my statement?
I'm sorry, yes, sir.
I was just, I forgot what I was going to say.
I
Go ahead.
apologize. Chief, is the road closed on 70 with that fire?
Yes, sir, right now it is.
Okay.
Whereabouts is it?
Summit.
You want to come down here and announce that, please?
So right now they have Highway 70 shut down eastbound, and then westbound traffic, they're detouring them on Goat Trail and White Mountain to get Alamogordo and everything.
It's on the
like that.
reservation right about the
Apache
summit.
Summit's what they're saying.
The summit is where it started. It's got two fires, one on each side of the road. One's starting to kind of back into the highway and the other one's burning pretty good, but they just capped it at about 5 acres, so we're getting conflicting information right now.
So they said there's a air tractor coming in.
Did I send that to you?
No, I got this one from a realtor, and they know everything, so. And it says it's a big plane on the way from Stafford, Arizona.
Right now, they have two seats hitting it, and that large aircraft that we had at SPRA.
Yep.
They've already got an air show going on right now. The Mormon Hot Shots are taking over.
Okay.
And then they've got several state and BIA engines on it, so there's all kinds of resources. But it's winds pushing it east, so.
Pushing it east.
So, looks like unless anything changes, it's gonna push it into that salt burn scar.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Which we don't want that either, but it's better than moving it new. Okay. All right. And thank you for that, Chief. And I appreciate Texas guys always, and he's right all the time. So I appreciate that too. And then I was told that right-of-way stuff, there's a lot of construction material in it. So when we go out there and assess it, we'll take a look at that. Okay, that concludes the business of the Village of Ruidoso special meeting. This meeting is adjourned.
Did you have one?
No.
Until they can get away from the highway. I don't know what's the, you know, the guy that raised his hand, that tattooed kid? He's the one that made that video a while back talking about so bad it's gonna happen. Is it?